Those who care for others are invaluable. And have you noticed we as women tend to default into caring and taking lots of care of people in various situations? Well, the caretakers are those who really make life better for others, which is great. In today's premiere show, our experts are going to share how to prepare for tough times for ourselves and for others when we're caring for others. So let's go say hi to our experts. Hi, Lee.
Hello, Laura. Hi, everyone. I'm Lee Atherton. I'm an end-of-life and grief coach. You can find me online at coachrev.com, and I'm joining you today from Massachusetts.
Oh, great to have you, Lee, and hi, Conscious.
Hi, Laura. Thank you for having me. I am Conscious Justice with Conscious Co-Creators International Foundation, 501c3 nonprofit. I am coming by the way of Kansas City, and I am an advocate for spirituality.
Oh, lovely to have both of you here today to talk about taking care in tough times. And so I wanted to start with Lee and ask you for your advice. What would you advise our viewers today about how to take care in tough times?
Oh, there are so many ways to take care in tough times, but today I want to talk about taking care of your loved ones. And as an end-of-life coach, I encourage people to prepare for that time of life. We're never too young to do so. Might seem like death is far away, but none of us truly know when that moment's going to come. So I like to tell people, be prepared for any trauma or medical crisis that might come anytime by taking time to contemplate and document what you want your loved ones to know, how you want to be treated, how comfortable do you want to be? There are lots of questions to contemplate for when that end of lifetime comes. And when we think of it being perhaps the result of a tragic car accident, we take care of our loved ones by having done this ahead of time so that they're not having to come up with answers while they're rushing through the ER.
And it also takes care of the caretaker too, because during this traumatic time, they can focus on the care and have it like a map laid out, it sounds like.
Exactly. Don't leave your loved ones guessing what your wishes are, but give them peace of mind.
So whether you're the caretaker or the one who might need caretaking, you want to have this mapped out for yourself and then for others, either for others.
Right.
This is like taking care of everybody here.
Right? Yeah. Absolutely.
So speaking of the traumas or medical crisis that might come up, Conscious, I wanted to turn over to you for your advice. How do people take care when they're faced with trauma or they're facing people who've been traumatized?
With love, care, and respect. Understanding, coming from a level of understanding what the condition is, because trauma doesn't come just in one form. It's so multifaceted. So first with understanding, and then being able to come from a level of experience myself, experiencing trauma from age 2 years on up and then into adulthood. You have to come to a level of, I'd say, I'm tired. I've had enough, because we become so disconnected from who we are. It's almost, it's not an option. You have to come back around to a center of wholeness. We've expended ourselves in so many ways on a physical level. That's why I consider myself a spiritual advocate, because it's internal where we must start go inside to become whole again.
So the trauma can really empower you over time, it sounds like, and help you mentor others. Is that what you're saying too?
Oh, in so many ways. I had to finally get tired of my old ugly self from the traumas that I've experienced, not due to my own self, but then you come into adulthood, then you make dumb decisions, dumb choices based on that trauma, based on you're holding grudges, based on you're holding these things that become toxic within our bodies, manifesting itself in sickness and illness and bad health. So when you finally, when you're going to the doctors, when you're going to the medical field, when you're going over the counter to get your prescriptions, and nothing is coming into wholeness, you're still fragmented. You're still not one with yourself. And Conscious Co-Creators International Foundations is centered on bringing one back into a state of wholeness through different ways of holistic modalities. And that's in various ways and forms.
And then when you do that, you can empower others because they see you in your wholeness.
Yes, I had to become actually just tired and find out what ways. It's like you have to really talk to yourself and come back to yourself, because you are the one that hold the answers to yourself. No one else does.
Wonderful. So it's about empowering yourself, whether it's what Lee said, prepare in advance with what you want when trauma or crisis happens. And like what you're saying, Conscious, is do the work on yourself so you are prepared to help others and continue with a full life. I love these. So what I wanted to ask both of you, and we'll start with Lee, is who do you work with, and tell us a little bit more about what you do with them.
I could say that I work with everybody because all of us are going to die at some point, right? I work with people who are at the end of life and their loved ones who are grieving, and people who want to offer their loved ones peace of mind for when that time comes, so that the answers are there. I love to talk to young people, young adults, because what young adult really is thinking about the end of their life? Probably not many. But why not think about it now? Why not say, gee, if this happens, here's what I want. Yeah, there's a great story of a young man who was an extreme sports player. And I think he was in his 20s. He got in a skiing accident, became a quadriplegic. They had him in a medically induced coma, and his family was around saying, what do we do? Do we keep him on life support? Do we not? And going back and forth. They had the great gift of the doctor saying, we can take him out of the medical coma so that you can ask him. And they did. And they found out, he said, no way do I want to live like this. He would be on life support for forever. We don't all have that chance to tell our loved ones. So think about it. It's not too hard.
And do you have an example story about how you help somebody?
Yes. I led what's called the 5 Wishes workshop, and I had a woman who had never thought about what this would be at her end of life. And she took the time to answer 5 important questions, what she would want at the end of her life, thinking, yeah, that's a long way away. And it actually turned out that within the year, she was diagnosed with terminal cancer and facing that period in her life. She didn't have to spend her time figuring out what kind of medical treatment do I want or not. She had taken the time even to think about what she'd want for her funeral service. And so as those last days were coming, her family surrounded her, knowing how to care for her in a way that she wanted, knowing that they didn't have to second guess themselves. And then after she died, when I talked with the family about, let's put her service together, they talked about, oh, this is wonderful that mom did this. There's so much going on and I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know how I would plan her service in a way that honored her if I didn't know what she would like to have there.
Precious conversations you're giving access to, and taking care, allowing people to take care of each other so well.
Right.
Conscious, I wanted to move over to you and ask, so who do you work with in your nonprofit that's coming out, and what are you doing, and or as a spiritual advocate, what do you love doing?
I primarily like to work with women because I feel that once you empower the woman, the children will be empowered, the man will be empowered, the nation will be empowered. That's my thought about it, because we're strong as women, and we can get connected to people that don't have our best interest. What they call spiritual vampires, taking your energy from you. I got myself in a situation, being in an occult, okay, where it just really damaged me spiritually. I'd say spiritually because, I was thought I was going to find God, okay, but I'd say I ended up in hell trying to find God. It was so much was taken from me, and once I found the strength to pull myself out of it, and then grow from there and get back to me. It was once I got back to my state of wholeness and fullness, then when I started seeing it, recognizing it in other women, it was like a mirror. I'm looking at me in their situations, and having the opportunity for it can be just a word, or if it's someone that comes to me directly and just starts speaking and just start talking, like a lot of situations have happened. I always say I let people know that I don't judge, because I've been there too. I've been in your situation with a narcissist or someone that just disregards you as a woman and demeans you, and doesn't take you for who you are and want to change you. So there are many women that I have come into contact with that I don't even know, that we start having a conversation, and I let them know that, first of all, spiritually, because we're so external people out here, we're living external, we forget that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. So we have to get back again. I'm just constantly saying this. We've got to come back onto the inside. We've got to come back on the internal.
And what's beautiful is you're the example, and I have this image of you with somebody who feels like they're drowning, almost like in quicksand, but you're their lifeline. You're the arm that pulls them out so strongly. And what a gift.
When I tell you that, when I see a woman coming out from my words, not just, I don't want to make it sound good. It's just I have to be this example because I was bought out of it. So I have to be that example. And to see a woman come back to me and she said, I moved all my stuff out. I got out of there. I had to get away, just because you can't live your fullness of life under the constructs of somebody that is wanting you to live the way that they want you to live.
Exactly.
Period.
And I think we should rename the title of the show is taking care in tough times so you can live your full life, And yeah, I see Lee, you're nodding your head too. So with that, we bring extraordinary women together to share their extraordinariness, if that's a word. And so I wanted to hear a little bit from each of you about Women Speakers Association. What does it mean to you and what's the value? Lee?
Thank you. So first, I want to say, Conscious, you are a powerful, empowered woman, and you are a great example. Thank you for sharing. Women Speakers Association has been so much for me. I've met wonderful people who have been incredibly supportive of my journey, even in the tough times when I'm feeling like I'm just going to throw in the towel. I've met women who are courageous, empowered, like Conscious, and that's only a piece of it. There's also all these tools and resources and wise women who have so much to share. I really appreciate and feel honored to be a part of Women Speakers Association.
And we're honored to have you. Thank you so much. And for those of you who are wondering if you want to do what Conscious and Lee have done and be a part of our premier women here at Women Speakers Association, all you have to do is go to joinwsa.com and learn more about us. And Conscious, tell us on your end, how is it being a part of Women Speakers Association? What's the value?
I'd say first, it is an honor to be a part of Women's Speaking Association. Have met initially Gail, and now to have met yourself, Laura, and to meet an incredible woman that offers a beautiful service during a tough time, Lee. That encourages me and inspires me to want to advocate for your services. It is about community. We're nothing without community. And to connect with other women, we become a total powerhouse when we connect with each other and share our stories to empower others. So it is an honor. Just beginning, going forward 1,000 years later, I'm honored to be a part of such greatness.
As am I. Well said. I love the power that's here, and it's like we are, as a community, we are a force to be reckoned with. And women in Women's Speakers Association pull each other to be their greatest, to leverage the resources that can make the greatest impact. And if you just want to put your toe in the water, you can certainly download our Speaker Success Plan at speakersuccessplan.com. Not only do you get our free download, but you get access to finding out when our networking meetings are, when our other opportunities are. You'll get our blog posts and other information about the tools that Lee, you mentioned about, and the community that Conscious, you mentioned about. So thank you so much, Conscious and Lee, for being a part of Women's Speakers Association, for taking the time today to be on our panel here at the Women's Premier Show. And we will be back next week with another episode to fulfill and fill your heart with good wisdom and amazing women. Thanks again. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye for now.